Hello, my name is Nicole Grant, and welcome to my presentation of the Fight of the Indians. My outline today starts with my thesis. Whenever we own land today, it is rightfully ours if we are paying the taxes to the county in which the land is located. Indians were not afforded this right. My perspectives: Congress and the Northwest Ordinance, Thomas Jefferson's outlook, and the government's great lengths to remove the opposed Indians. We're going to give a little background here on the Indians. Indian tribes have been around for many, many years. Indian tribes have always had an abundance of land. Indians stayed to themselves. Indians' lives were abruptly interrupted by European settlers. The Indians' land was taken from them involuntarily. Congress and the Northwest Ordinance. In 1787, Congress passed the Northwest Ordinance. This ordinance was to help them to organize land surveying and to sell the land around the Ohio and the Mississippi River. The Indian tribes were assured that they will be treated with the utmost good faith during this process. As expected, the Indian tribal leaders did not agree to sell their land. This was the beginning of the road of destruction for many Indian tribes. This is Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson argued that Indian removal occurred for the benefit of expanding the American nation and to protect the Indians. Jefferson also said the Indians had slowed in advancement compared to the rest of the states. Jefferson believed that removing the Indians would forever be the happiest course for the Indians, seeing as how they were being influenced by liquor. He believed that removing them would help them. The settlers were coming in and they were bringing alcohol, and alcohol became a very big problem for the Indians. So he believed by uprooting them and moving them to a new location would help aid in this issue that they were having with alcoholism. The United States government told the white settlers that they would buy land from the Cherokees and other Indian tribes. That agreement was a lie, and the Cherokees did not agree to this deal. Some of the oldest states once stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mississippi River. These states were North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Smaller states did not like this about the large states. They complained, and it was decided to reduce these states where the Indians resided, which leads us to this chart here that shows the Trail of Tears and the different locations that the Indians were moved to. This is the government's role in all of this. The government went to great lengths to gain compliance from the Indians. From 1866 to 1890, the United States Army was involved in 1,040 missions against the Indians. In totality, the Indian nation was reduced by 90% since the arrival of white settlers. The Indians were forced to live on reservations, in poverty, without the same rights as white settlers. In 1934, they were offered citizenship despite being there before the white settlers. They were also offered voting rights. After many of years of living in hell, the Indians continued to have many struggles. They lived in poverty and in bad health while fighting for land ownership. Sadly, today, the government is still fighting in court with the Indians over their land. As a country that says we all have the same rights, it's really sad to see that we are still fighting with our neighbor. I really hope one day soon that this will end and that we will decide to allow people to have what belongs to them and we will not covet our neighbor. Thank you for watching my presentation today. Once again, this is Nicole Grant, English 1301, James Townsend, my professor. Thank you.